Hello. What's everybody up to? Well, I decided to come on here because I got an email from Lisa Trancendence Brown, and I was reading a little bit of it, and then it was like, well, read it and do a video. So here we go. And thank you for joining in. Thank you for receiving wherever you are in this now moment. Thank you for being on the path to even get to this frequency to watch this video and receive this transmission. So without further ado, here we go. From Lisa Trancendence Brown, Awakening to Remembering. Starts out as a multi-dimensional New Earth light letter. Thank you for your service as light. It is beyond important for all. And so cool, because my music that I had just cut out, I was trying to be really nice for you guys and have all this music in the background so you can enjoy it. And the music cut out, so I'm going to put the music back on because homie don't play that. Homie don't play that. Isn't it perfect? There we go. All right, we're back in business. This is what happens when you get high frequency stuff. It's like stuff starts glitching out and blah, 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 So anyways, back to the message. It's beyond important for all. Aloha, beautiful soul star light beings in form. I was observing what is important to say to you right now and saw to thank each one of you and everyone for living your highest as light, for showing the way as the way showers, for holding immense unlocked new earth codes and templates within your own body field form, embodiment, and maintaining openness, love, kindness, generosity, compassion, and care, while standing in immense inner strength power to lead the way and being relentless in your focus and dedication to live a unified existence, which is oneness, while assisting with various transitional phases that present along the way. Thank you for uniting as vibrationally and energetically appropriate aligned for working, creating, coexisting through divine sacred union and new earth partnerships too. Thank you for living oneness and for remembering all as love, remembering why we are all here, and for applying new to everything you live, breathe, speak, and do. Opening up huge portals and passageways of infinite possibilities and potentials for all to embrace and actualize too. Thank you for remembering that all is through unity, and that division and duality are just so all can see clear immense distortions and assist with the deep inner work through immense, previously invisible programming, conditioning, illusions of separation, and self-imposed limitations through believing fears, distorted linear perceptions, and fixed beliefs, matrix programs that separate all from this. Thank you for shining light on all that was perceived as dark, and for dissolving, transcending the separation you once held, hid from, and didn't want to see, and for busting through those strong defense protection mechanisms that were your binding to 3D realities too. Thank you for being the example, for living your pure divine essence and for diminishing the veils of separation within you that were previously present while still functioning and living from an amnesia forgotten state. Thank you for choosing light as your only way. Thank you for being the light at the end of the tunnel. As delving into the depths and traversing through the ever-winding rabbit hole vortex is a massive process that intertwines, weaves, takes infinite turns, and presents distortions after distortions until each gets the hang of multidimensional realities and realizes there are entirely all new realities available when each is truly ready for this. Thank you for encouraging all to do the deep inner work and to shine and share their own light fully too. There are no words great enough. And there's a heart. We continue. Thank you for your ability to respect where everyone is and understand how all works. To empower each around you through your presence and unwavering dedication to and commitment to holding new earth realities in place. Thank you for your willingness to light the way and honor each's own decision to come through when it's their time to unite as love and explore, discover, create, and build new earth realities together too. Thank you for your realizations that each must also do the deep, deep, deep inner work themselves, and that each must come into their own realizations from inside, while working through immense separation and duality programming held within the carbon-based physical body still. This too is activating codes with every emotional release emanating from an old mentality or belief. It's beautiful how with every opportunity that presents, you show up as pure source consciousness light through your own purity and love, naturally inspiring all around you to also create all new realities by embracing their own inner guidance, knowing too, because you see how capable they are when supported, uplifted, and inspired to do this like we all do, and that feeling of simplicity and pride they have when they accomplish this themselves. It's beyond beautiful to see you all uniting, sharing, working together, supporting, and having a blast, living your pure joy and peace while lighting paths and opening gateways, vortexes for all to work through too. Passageways are important as they are how each comes out on the other side, as each exercises their own free will, conscious choice, as to which version of Earth to invest in, experience, and live, by what each consciously contributes to, supports, aligns with, creates, and allows. It's so beautiful to see so many stop saying program statements like, I, they, don't have a choice, through realizing that everyone has infinite choices, and that each hearts and minds just have to be completely open, ready, and willing to utilize them, instead of hanging on to the old ways as safe. So today and every day, I hold you in pure love, gratitude, and appreciation in my heart, soul, for every one of you holding the foundation and platforms for new earth realities in place and working to establish new systems that replace the old ones that were operating from within a corrupted timeline. Yes, it takes us all, as all created old Earth, allowed old Earth, unconsciously supported old Earth, and participated in being old Earth until that huge game-changing moment where new Earth awoke, was birthed, became visible from within. And everything inside shifted and changed. And each of our own light emerged so softly, beautifully, peacefully, and profoundly through simplicity and purity too. For all living from new Earth fully from deep within, creating all aligned on a soul cosmic level, my hat is off to you for being courageous in no longer conforming to the old norm of the fear-based, constricting, limiting, imprisoning ways of fixed, linear separation mentalities, beliefs, and for busting out and forging a path through, and for holding new Earth core values in place, no matter what, because you see, understand, realize how important all is for every one of us. I look forward to all uniting more as entire collectives break through and out and join us to create, build, accomplish new Earth realities for everyone to enjoy fully too. Keep initiating and reconnecting through our crystalline, gridding systems and plasma networks too. Thank you for bringing more pure love through you for our planet, humanity, and all ready to live new Earth fully too. In utter and complete gratitude for you, your service, your sharing, and your immense contributions too. With the utmost respect, love, appreciation, and reverence for all, Lisa Trancendence Brown. So you can receive this article on our website and looking at her gifted writings. Thank you, Joe. It is relatable. There were some things in here that, so this is the first time I read it. I thought it would be just nice to read it loud and do this video. There was where, let me see, we're doing the deep inner work through immense, which was previously invisible programming, conditioning, illusions of separation, and self-imposed limitations through believing fears, distorted linear perceptions, and fixed beliefs, matrix programs that separate all from this. So she has in here previously invisible. And that really stood out for me because we're in this time where we remove the veil. We're all quarantined at home, having to deal with all of our stuff. I was just reading a report that suicidal attempts in the last 4 weeks, the amount of suicidal attempts in the last 4 weeks are the same number as it usually is for a whole entire year. And what this is exactly that. So those previously invisible programming is now becoming visible. And a lot of people don't understand that, so they don't know how to deal with it. So they want to off themselves or get out. And that's what is happening. It was all the stuff we were pretending not to know, that we were sweeping underneath the bed. I'll talk about that in the right time, or I'll make that move, but our heart and soul knew we were pushing it down and pushing it away and not facing it and not having that conversation that was going to be the most important conversation that most likely was going to change our life. And that's why it was coming up, and that's why we were avoiding it, because we knew if we had that conversation with that person, we might break up, or we might get a divorce, or my whole entire life might change if I just have this one conversation that I know I'm supposed to have, that I keep pushing underneath the rug, sweeping it, under the bed, and pretending not to know it exists for 9 years. And 9 years of life just goes by. That's just an example that I remember for myself. So this previously invisible programming, conditioning, the illusions of separation, and self-imposed limitations through believing fears, distorted linear perceptions, not seeing the whole picture, and fixed beliefs, not being open to new possibilities, matrix programs that separated us all from this. So New Earth is all about unity. It's all about the oneness. The Matrix, the 3D, our old system that is now becoming visible. You know, some of us who knew something wasn't right and have been doing the work for a while, which is probably you if you're on this video, watching it. You know, we've been going through our programming and our conditioning and our breaking down our illusions of separation and our self-imposed belief systems. And, you know, the beliefs that were embedded, that we were conditioned with, and this distorted linear perceptions because we're looking at things in time, which doesn't exist the way we enter and understand it. We are not linear beings. We are quantum beings. That's how you can do like a healing, and all of a sudden, and April's watching, and, you know, I know, April, you do you're certified hypnotist now, and that's how, like, we can get into, you know, those theta realms and reprogram, and we can fix that belief like it just boom, done, like it never existed. And that's quantum. That goes back to, that's all of our realities, because all there is now. So that's the whole thing with linear perceptions, distorted linear perceptions. It's very interesting, and that's part of the Matrix to keep us in time. If you notice, everyone's got their clock and they got to have their watch and know what time it is and what time are we meeting here and all this jazz. And that's just the false system that was blocking our intuitive technology that we were born with, that we have been programmed out of, that is returning. We're remembering it. Hello. Love you. So we're remembering these things in our telepathic communications and all of our gifts. I was reading, there's someone I follow on Instagram, and, you know, we're like, oh, we have 5 senses, and some people have heard about like the 6th sense, right? Well, there's actually about 31 different senses that he was able to distinguish, which is pretty amazing. So we're very, very amazing beings that we didn't come with an instruction manual. No one taught us how amazing we are. Can you imagine, like, being given the keys to a private, you know, G6 Learjet and being like, oh, go ahead and fly it. Like, here, you can fly it. Are you going to get in and actually take off without any training? No, you'll probably kill yourself. First off, if you could even figure out how to get the thing to move. So we're just as amazing technology that is in this suit, this human suit that they call it. And so it's time that we remember and awaken to who we are and uncover all of our intuitive technology and get rid of all the self-imposed limitations, the fears, the distorted linear perceptions, the fixed beliefs that are there as like a veil blocking us from who we are and allowing the intuition and the intuitive technologies to kick in. And so it's happening. Trust the process. If you're called, I know there's many light beings and dark beings and all beings, you know, so we don't have to get into, like, you know, labeling, but there's many beings that you will be guided to. So trust the process. That's one of the big things for me, is like, as a human, we want to seek and we want to make stuff happen, especially as a male, the masculine. We want to make stuff happen. We got to make it happen. Got to make it happen. And the lesson that I'm getting the most, that's really integrating, is there's nothing that needs to be made happen. Actually, what the best thing to do is to just sit down and shut up and not do anything. And let it all, let go. And so let go of the programming, let go of the conditioning, let go of the illusions of separation, let go of the believing the fears, let go of the distorted linear perceptions, let go of the fixed beliefs and the matrix programs. And you might have some cognitive dissonance, you might have ego debts, you might have whatever kind of, you know, phenomenon of an experience, and it's okay, it all passes, because everything passes. We're in motion, and it's perfect. So that was, you know, that one really stood out. Let me see what else here. I'm just going back through this email. So, so she says something, you know, thank you for shining light on all that was perceived as dark. And she put dark in quotes like that. because as humans, again, we like to label and put separation and all this stuff. So we're like, oh, that's dark and that's light and that's good and that's evil and that's bad and that's right or that's wrong and blah, 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 and all this kind of jazz. And it was just our perception. And so once we realize all this stuff, we can dissolve it, which just transcends. And when you transcend something, it's kind of like Einstein's, quote where he said, the same level of thinking that created the problem is not the one that can solve it. You have to go to another level. You have to transcend it. You have to transcend the energy that created it and the energy that has the problem, and they're just like battling each other. And then when you come up here and you look at it as an observer, you're like, oh, there's the answer. Like it was easy the whole time. So that's the transcending of this dark illusion of separation, duality, polarity, and all this stuff. Polarity is actually, is different, but the duality is just part of the lower density game. And on New Earth, we just don't have it. It's not there because we're one. The oneness, the unity. That's how we roll. That's how it flows. So what else do we got here? Diminishing the veils of separation within you that were previously present, while still functioning and living from an amnesia forgotten state. So that's what's kind of cool. So we've been in amnesia. We've been living in a human, suit with amnesia of who we really are. So we forgot who we were. And even through that, we were able to, live as our pure divine essence and diminish the veils of separation. And so I know all of you on here are lovers. You have love in your heart. Otherwise, you couldn't even get and watching this frequency with us here. So thank you. Thank you for having that love in your heart and sharing it and expressing it. And, so we are the light at the end of the tunnel, but we are our own tunnel, the end of our own vortex. And that's part of the whole multidimensionality. I'm just seeing if there's anything else here that resonated, that really wanted. So she did say, so this is something also that sometimes as a light worker, I know a lot of light workers are like, I gotta go wake everybody up. It's my job to wake everybody up. Everybody gets to go. No soul left behind, blah, blah, all this stuff, and it like consumes you and drains your energy and all this stuff. So this statement is really nice. She's like, thank you for your willingness to light the way and honor each's own decision to walk through and come through when it's their time to unite as love and explore, discover, create, build new earth realities together too. So, just let everyone be. Let them have their time. If someone's approaching and asking for support, and that's like we can support there because we have an opening. But for someone who doesn't have an opening, especially like family, right? The biggest like ones are like, oh, I want them to know. So family can sometimes be, really can get to us. So you just let everyone be. Let them be. So, the duality, the separation and the duality programming is held in the carbon body, the body, this carbon. And so we're actually shifting to a crystalline body where this suit is turning crystalline and we're ascending in consciousness with the suit. Now, that's why I feel like a lot of beings are leaving at this time, in this now moment, this reality, as we're shifting, because they're just, the suit's too dense, the programming is too dense, and they're not ready to let go. They're not open. They're resisting it. So what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to be ejected out of the incarnation, and so we call that death in this realm. But what will happen is their soul will just, and they'll end up on New Earth and just reincarnate there. But some of us are going to ascend in this suit and go through the whole process right to New Earth, which is pretty wild, right? It's kind of freaky. So this is activating, our codes. And with every emotional release, we activate codes, new codes. We let go of the old mentality, the old beliefs. So this is a process. Let me tell you, make sure you're taking care of yourself, love yourself. I'll tell you what's over the last human linear time, what's been coming through very, very strong is hydrate, get out in nature, rest, eat healthy, which I can always do better at. And then take the salt baths. Epsom salt, but I highly recommend the sea salt, Dead Sea salt. Epsom salt's good. Mix them up. Take a little bit of both. Take those baths. Take that time for yourself. Soak for 20 minutes. 20. I know a lot of people like to get in there for 5 minutes and be like, oh, good. No, it takes like 15, 20 minutes for that salts to get into your skin and absorb it for you to get the benefit. So do that and release, let go, clear, cut, dissolve, anything you want. It's that simple. You're the commander of your reality. So command, decree, invocate, do whatever you got to do. Anything else in here? Ding, ding, ding. So she says passageways are important, as they are how each comes out on the other side, as each exercises their own free will, conscious choice, which is, we're all empowered with that, as to which version of Earth to invest in. So we're in this divide right now. My brain, my human mind sees it as like a civil war, like we're going into a legit civil war. And there's people on one side and people on the other side. There's the maskers and the no maskers. There's the people who are buying all the mainstream media stuff, and then there's the people who know that it's bullshit. So there's stuff in between too, so don't get me wrong. Everyone has their choice. But we're letting go of this stuff. And so wherever we focus our attention and energy is where we're investing in. It's just that simple. Whatever you focus on is what you're investing. Wherever you spend your money is what you're investing. You're choosing that. You're choosing to vote for that company. You're choosing to vote for Monsanto or Pepsi or whatever. You're choosing to vote for those things. And do those really serve your optimal reality that you want to create? Do you want to keep recreating an old Earth, or do you want to keep creating new Earth? And let me tell you, we're in a very dynamic time. Things are shifting very, very quickly. So these are the now moments to really take inventory and become conscious on all your interactions. Where am I investing my energy? Where am I spending my money? Am I spending it on big business, or am I spending it on small businesses and local businesses support? I can tell you, I'll be honest, Amazon makes things very easy to acquire. A lot of times they give you a very great price, and they can get it to you extremely quickly, especially if you're a Prime member. So I know a lot of times I go to Prime. I'm buying a lot of stuff on Prime. But more recently, I've been switching back around now that I'm here in Sedona, and I'm like, who can I support around here? What businesses are open that I could support? And we found this really cool bakery today down in Camp Verde, and I'm like, yeah, this is where I want to spend my money. So those things definitely matter. Support your friends and your small businesses. That's what the new Earth is going to be all about. That's what it is all about. So we all have choices, and every choice that we make with our free will is what we're creating, that reality. We're supporting that reality, and so it's going to keep manifesting for us. If we let go of the old realities, they will dissolve, they will disappear. Trust me. And just keep supporting what you want to see. Ding, ding, ding. What else I got here? Anything else? Yeah, okay. So that's pretty much it. I feel holding complete. Thank you so much for being online with me in this now moment. Does anyone have any questions or want to say anything while I'm here? Just popping out. Cool. Love you so much. Thank you for being in my new Earth reality, my hologram, our united, collective consciousness of we, exploring the oneness and expanding it into infinity. Love you, love you, love you. Thanks, Joe. See you soon.